Sure, the strong among us have power, but the weak have got some options too. As long as you have the intention to protect those you love, you can become stronger and use it as armor. Always use it as your sharpest weapon against your enemies.
In a world where harm and exploitation exist, the need for self-defense arises, not as an act of aggression, but as a response to injustice. Yet many of us have been taught to associate self-defense with selfishness, anger, or even weakness. This mindset creates an imbalance, allowing predators, whether physical, emotional, or psychological, to prey on those who hesitate to protect themselves. It's time to change this narrative. The truth is, there would be no need for defense if harm didn't exist in the first place. Predators thrive on the idea that their targets will remain passive, using societal norms, fear, or guilt to discourage resistance. This mindset creates an opening for abuse, manipulation, and oppression to flourish. Recognizing this reality is the first step toward reclaiming our right to stand up for ourselves and others. The ego and the heart, a battle of light and dark. At the core of this struggle lies the interplay between the ego and the heart, between darkness and light. The ego, often fueled by fear, anger, or pride, can lead us to overreact or act out of alignment with our values. But it's also the ego that allows us to say, enough is enough when harm is being done. Conversely, the heart, the source of love, compassion, and empathy, guides us to act with kindness and understanding, even toward those who have hurt us. The key to self-defense lies in balancing these forces. Defending yourself doesn't mean succumbing to darkness or abandoning your principles. It means channeling the strength of your ego with the wisdom of your heart, recognizing that sometimes the most compassionate thing you can do, for yourself and for others, is to set firm boundaries and enforce them when needed. Reframing defense as empowerment. Society often discourages self-defense, especially for those who are naturally empathetic or conflict-averse. The idea is perpetuated that being defensive is inherently bad, or that responding to harm is a sign of weakness. But self-defense is not about being combative. It's about reclaiming power that was taken from you. It's about standing firm against harm and protecting the space where your light can flourish. In fact, self-defense can be an act of profound love for yourself and for the world you want to create. When we stand up against harm, we disrupt the cycles of abuse that enable predators to thrive. We model for others what it means to honor one's boundaries and to refuse to let darkness consume the light. Embracing the balance. No one is entirely light or dark. We all carry both within us. The goal is not to eliminate darkness, but to understand and harness it in ways that serve the greater good. Standing up for yourself, saying no, or confronting harmful behavior doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human. Someone who is learning to navigate life's challenges with integrity and strength. In a perfect world, defense wouldn't be necessary. But in the reality we live in, defense is sometimes the only way to protect what matters most. It's not selfish to guard your light. It's not selfish to draw boundaries and enforce them. It's not selfish to say this far and no further. True empowerment comes from understanding that we can wield both light and dark with purpose. We can be kind and compassionate, but also firm and unyielding when the situation demands it. Defense, when done with intention and balance, is not an act of aggression, but an affirmation of love for ourselves, for others, and for the better world we all hope to create.